Altice.
Okay, I'm Cindy Altice. I teach band and choir in Taylor, Missouri. It's North Lafayette just a little bit. We're playing the first movement.
But she's a cellist, so don't
Yes, I am.
let that fool you. Very nice, Cindy. What are your thoughts?
There were parts where my head was dug in my score, and I
Not-
wish I was more familiar with this piece, and maybe
You still managed to make eye contact. You still managed, even though there were times, yeah, I saw a lot of your top of your head. There were some key moments where you did make eye contact. Being more comfortable with the score, having even just one more day with it. I know you've only had it 2 days. But a good job. One thing I noticed, sometimes you're getting the hitch now.
yeah,
You're checking off.
yeah.
Right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Take out that drum major.
I wasn't drumming.
Take it out. Right? Smooth. You can be big. You can be articulate. You can have accents without checking. It's a matter of what you're doing is stopping your arm on the ictus and then rebounding up instead of a smooth rebound. So don't stop on the ictus, just bounce up. Just like when you have a basketball, right? with the basketball. It reaches its apogee and just drifts back down. It's the same thing.
Nice word.
Well, thank you.
It's not an Arkansas word.
What's that?
It's not an Arkansas word.
No, it's not. That's why I pay so much money to go to school out of state. But good. You're more comfortable than you were with the score and making the entrances. And I really liked when you go to one, that second key area, it was a nice transition. What did you think, orchestra, when she went to one? Bum, ba, da, 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 dee, da, da. And that allowed you to shape, really shape it.
Sometimes, and I know because I did this last year, you have a real tendency to do the stop hand with your left hand, like palm forward. And I just know that I had to work on that because they told me that apparently some groups may think that you want them to not do whatever. So just keep that in mind. And I only noticed because, like I said, so, yeah.
That's a good point, and it depends on your ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. It depends on your ensemble.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything we do depends on our ensemble, doesn't it?
Well, obviously they didn't stop, so.
Yeah,
But.
yeah. So there are things that you might be able to do here that you might not do at the middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So just be aware of those things. Thank you. That's a good point.
There was only one time that you showed facial expression, and it looked like you were about to crack up, not that you were displaying true enjoyment in the piece.
She was laughing at a couple of people back here. That's why I didn't say anything about that.
Well,
It is hard
regardless,
sometimes to not do that, but
Regardless,
Yeah.
it wasn't really
Yeah.
like, if I were a part of the ensemble, I would have, because there's some kind of dramatic parts in this, I kind of wish we could have had a little bit more emotion in the intense parts and a little more happening.
that's one thing. You never know what's going to happen when you're on the podium. I mean, really. When we played, when our orchestra here played at the Coughlin Center, I wasn't even thinking about the people on the sides. So when I went to get a cue to the strings, and I'm looking over at Matt and Nick and people, and I'm seeing all these people up there. And I really kind of wanted, I mean, it was in the moment, and there's all these people, and I actually wanted to kind of go, hi, how you doing? Because I wasn't used to seeing them there. But I couldn't do that. So I had to just give the cue and, okay, what the hell? I forgot they were there. And there are times, yeah, it's difficult when you have a colleague making you laugh.
Try to inspire more facial
but-
expression.
But yeah, you can use more expression. You can use more expression.
There, like, reason why is this song takes, a lot of times it repeats, and it variates some of the themes, and so you don't have to be completely in score. Even if you're not all that familiar with it, you kind of know where it's going, and you should be able to eventually start to feel that. And it's just, the reason why we're moving is because it's one of those, that section is just so full of life and it's bouncy, and your head was just down and your face was solemn, and your orchestra was not being able to feed off of you because there was nothing there. And that affects them. And so it was one of those things, like, sometimes you just have to get your head up and just let the music kind of take over a little bit.
Was that after 6?
Yes, or wherever that part was.
Was it 6 or the other? I think it was around 6. Colleen actually makes a good point. Even if we're conducting something that we're not the most confident on, we haven't had a lot of time with it, you can use the shape of the phrase and repetitive aspects, and you can latch on to the way things are varied, like when a tune is inverted, right? Latch on to those moments. Also latch on to those polyphonic moments, right? Can we do 6? And make a little more, make a bigger difference there for that subito forte. Bum, 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 bum. Make the first violins play that G louder than you want them to. And try to get even bigger. I didn't see a big difference. So if it starts, bum, 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 you can. measures and then forte.
Yeah. and I-
Forte prayer. That's it. Forward, Yeah, that's a much better forte beating.
I'm not trying to be pick on you, but you're totally
Yeah.
Yeah, work on the shape.
And that's
that-
why I notice it, because I know I do it too.
That's something we
But
all
I can
have
never
to.
fire, it's just this.
That's something we all have to work on. You know, and using a mirror is a great way to do that. Because then you can actually see if what you're doing makes sense. Right? But a good job, Cindy. Good job.